Hello YouTube, it's Utopian Buddha. So this is going to be like a double video. I decided to mix things up a little bit. So I want to talk about one topic first, which is called, I'm going to title it The Saintly Drug Addict, which is kind of an examination of the fragility of goodness and how the line between good and evil is a razor's edge. It's a razor's edge between good and evil. I want to talk about that. And I also want to talk about this charity that if you watch some of my previous videos, I'm starting a used bookstore charity for hungry kids in Sri Lanka. So this is like the board that I'm going to use to sell the books. I'm going to set up a stall here in Yogaville, Virginia. But I also want to talk about the book haul. I've been collecting books for this used bookstore charity thing. So there's some great books. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to build a website and put them up online to sell them. All for charity, so you guys can check that out in a little bit. But let me show you some books real quick. So here's one book that I found that was really interesting. It's going to be for sale. Sacred Origins of Profound Things. It's really interesting. Another book. This book I kind of read some. It's about Jungian psychology and the archetypes. Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Myss. There's another one, Entering the Castle by Carolyn Myss. This one's really famous. The Battle for God by Karen Armstrong. She's like a religious historian, really deep thinker. I love this one. Oh, and this one's really good. I've actually been reading a lot of this one. This one's called Hollywood to the Himalayas by Sadhvi, Bhagawait, Saraswati. This one, I actually met this lady. She's like she was like a hippie, and she went to India and had like all these profound ecstatic visions and stuff, and it changed her life, and now she's like this big time humanitarian, cares about the poor and helps the poor and stuff. So it's really good stuff. And yeah, I guess that's enough for now. But I also want to talk about this topic, this saintly drug addict, right? So I just want to very briefly discuss like how, when this is just basically my experience, right? I've always been a kind of altruistic, generous dude, I guess. And, I've studied economics and politics and philosophy in college. So I was always interested in, like how we can make this world a better place or whatever. But then I got involved in drugs, right? And dude, I'm telling you, like drug use, like every saintly desire that I had was destroyed. So what I'm basically saying is there's no such thing as a saintly drug addict, right? Because it's just like, so now, and see, like for the past 5-6 months, so I've been sober for about 3 months now. But prior to that, I was doing smoking a lot of weed, doing a lot of psychedelics. And I didn't care about anyone, dude. I just cared about my own hedonic, my own pleasure. I just became so selfish. Didn't care about how anyone felt. Of course, I cared a little, but not as much as I do now, right? And the second I stopped doing drugs, like things like this start to matter to me, right? So it's just like it's like the smallest, there's a razor's edge difference between a life of saintliness and a life of drug addiction and uselessness, right? It's crazy how it works. All right, guys, that's all I wanted to say. Have a good one.